Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
Beat me if you can! Come on! It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my brother Tommy. How's it going?
I'm doing good.
And also joining us is our good brother from Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. It's Richard. How you doing?
I'm doing good too, Daniel.
I was going to say, come on, Tommy, lift up the emotion. He's wrapped in his blanket.
I want a blanket.
I know, we all should just wear blankets like Tommy.
You know, well,
I got a stack of them right there.
Oh, okay. I see in your living room there.
your pad there.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
should I wrap myself in blankets?
Yeah, to make up for a cold day in WWE last week with all the releases.
Oh, nice segue.
Nice segue. Bam!
Wow.
I'm a pro at this.
Wow. I'm going to start calling you the Iceman.
Or what was Stone Cold Steve Austin's nickname that they were going to throw him at?
Oh,
Frosty McFreeze.
Good name.
Was that what it was? Or
so that's the
name.
Wendy's Frosty. Like,
was it something McFreeze?
I don't know. Look it up on your phone.
Let's just say Stevie McFreeze.
Stevie McFreeze.
Whatever.
So, but yeah, so if you listen to the last episode in the Kliq, I gave my thoughts about the WWE releases, but I definitely, not to beat a dead horse, but I for the sake of this podcast, definitely, Rich, I want to get your thoughts on the latest set of releases that happened. Thursday afternoons, 18 superstars from Thursday, yeah. So 18 superstars from both the main roster and from NXT. The biggest names being, of course, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Nia Jax, to just to name a few. And then there was a mixture of some other people who've been wanting their releases and people from NXT. Some were just signed with the company, like I was going to say Taya Valkyrie, was Frankie Monet. People who've been there for a while but haven't done much there. So it was a mixed bag of big names and not so big names as far as, recognition. But, Richard, I'll just throw it to you, man. Just kind of what your takes on seeing because we were texting that afternoon when we saw the names breaking and we're like, oh my God, what is going on here? And he says, I was shocked and surprised. But yeah, just kind of your initial takeaways from just this latest round of releases here.
First, I just want to say the names that were thrown out there for Steve Austin were Fang McFrost, Snowman, Otto Von Ruthless, Mr. Freeze, Ice Dagger, Cruel Luke, Cool Cat.
Cool Cat.
It still doesn't have that one in there. You're missing one.
And also Chili McFreeze.
Chili McFreeze. That's what it was. Okay. Anyway, I was telling you before we started recording, to me, I'm a little desensitized to it at this point. Yeah. The names aren't all that surprising. I was most surprised by Nia Jax based off of family ties. And
yeah.
I think with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, they should have left it the way it was. I don't like saying should, but they could have done more with them in terms of their personalities, because it felt more as if they saw what they did in NXT, thought it was cool, and then said, let's figure out how we can make it ours, instead of how can we incorporate this on our show. Just
keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, with Taya Valkyrie, she didn't really connect on the NXT at all for me. And I like Taya Valkyrie. I like Taya Valkyrie in Lucha Underground and Impact and what I've seen of her in AAA, but it didn't feel like it was them with her. It felt like her backstage stuff was great. It was Taya Valkyrie, but like her in-ring, it just always looked like she was looking to look directly into the camera, no matter where she was and moving around. It was just too much. Look at me, look at me. And there's a lot of names on that list. Like, here's the issue when it comes to like these mass releases like they've done.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of names that get thrown in there that we really don't know. The guy who was with Cora Jade, for instance.
Oh yeah, her boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. Like with NXT in years of the past, a lot of people have filtered in and out of NXT, and we don't know that they're even under contract. But the fact that they have these mass releases, it just adds up names. So it's like, to me, if you take out all the people we really don't know, how many people did they really let go?
The star
that's
power
kind of how,
ones.
Star power ones. And okay, they've let go 74 people this year. How many people are still under contract?
That's the thing. It's really shocking because this is their
They've
third
got
quarter.
500 or 600 wrestlers under contract.
This is their, I'm not sure about that, but this is their third quarter. They just wrapped up, and this is their third set of big releases. So, then that's on top of the releases from last year in 2020. So it's amazing the amount of people they let go in the last 2 years. That could make up a new promotion elsewhere. The amount of talent there.
But there's a lot of people. But you could also make the argument that everyone that went there is leaving a bigger name than when they left. For the most part.
Yeah. I mean, their value, their brand.
I think it also speaks to how many people they have on the roster that are talented. There's like, when you look at what's left, it's not like who's left. It's like everyone's left. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows how much talent they were hoarding for years and signing and
continuing to hire.
Yeah, it's so. There's a lot to break down here, and I'll just sum it up like this because I don't want we don't spend so much time on it because like I said, everyone's been talking about it. My main thing was it sucks because it's like seems like every 3 months we have a new set of releases now. So is this the new norm as far as every quarter they're going to review their roster and then keep people yay or nay on people? And the latest set of rumors is there might be maybe 10 more releases coming of people like the older wrestlers on NXT. And so who knows what's that going to mean for certain people. In one report, it was Danny Burch and Timothy Thatcher was the latest set that could potentially be released, which sucks hearing that because it's like how you put that name out there, and I feel bad for the wrestlers. Like reading this, like wait, my job's in jeopardy right now. Like I feel bad for them.
Yeah, and part of that too is they look at who they did let go, and then they start making assumptions. So because let's keep in mind, whenever people throw this stuff out there, no one takes them into accountability when it actually doesn't happen either. So it does happen sometimes, and it's a lucky guess sometimes, but it's like at the same token, they're kind of using process of elimination of who they let go, but it's just kind of
to me, it's frustrating because it sucks because on Thursday they had their third quarter earnings call, and they had another great profit day, or to show off how much they made over the last 3 months, and they made a lot of money, and then they let go a bunch of people a couple hours later. So just the timing sucks.
Well, there's also the other thing that we talked about last week, and that is the price potential for the Ring of Honor library. And it's just because they've made a bunch of money doesn't mean that they're allowed, because they have stockholders. They can't just use whatever money they want to go purchase whatever they want. They have to make room for that money.
Mm-hmm. And
so it was funny to me was the amount of people online saying, "Oh, they fired all these people because they brought Goldberg and Brock back." No, Goldberg and Brock brought more money to the company.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, because you got to look at for them, it's like, okay, how can we make more money?
Where can we find the money to get something that we want and we don't have?
Well, so for me, what also was just upsetting or just frustrating, just a fan, I'm speaking on behalf as a fan, is that with this latest set of releases, there's, different reports of the reasoning behind some of these people being let go, whether some of the main roster people felt they weren't getting over with the crowd. And there were some people rumored who were unvaccinated and they were let go. And then there's just some people, just budget cuts. So there's been a lot of various reasons.
Who do you listen to is where I'm kind of at with it, because I saw a lot of that too, to the point where Nia Jax has to come out and say, I didn't get let go because I'm not vaccinated. That's just whatever.
Yeah. No, if you look at her Instagram stuff, she posted a statement explaining where she's been dealing with some health issues, and I wish her all the best. I want her to feel better, get better.
That's not what you said before we started recording. I just want to put that out in the ether.
So anyway, she's and then she's explaining from her end, as far as they never reached out to her and told her about her vaccine status and how that could potentially affect her coming back to work, all that stuff. Just apparently there's not a lot of communication there. So that sucks if she was let go and the company never gave her a heads up and what she could do to get ready to come back to work properly. So
did she not get vaccinated? Do we know that? Because if she didn't, fire her. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. So the New York Post said the reports were she was unvaccinated, and there's allegedly 4 to 6 other wrestlers who were let go because they were unvaccinated.
Yeah, but the New York Post is one of those tabloid gossip columns.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, for WWE, if they have a mandate that they want their superstars to be vaccinated, I'm all for that, because
if you're a traveling disease waiting to happen.
Exactly.
So to me, I don't. In that case, I don't care if all 74 people that got released in the last year weren't vaccinated. My sympathies are zero to them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because that's the thing. WWE is like a traveling circus. They go from state to state. Each state has their own rules and guidelines they need to follow. They go from country to country.
If you don't like that I said that, please send your hate tweets and messages over to @BabyHuey83 on Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you. But that's the thing. In WWE, they just went overseas to the UK for a quick little tour there. So, and you got to be vaccinated to go overseas. So that's the thing. It's like, if you're not vaccinated and you are not allowed to perform in a certain state, then you become worthless to the company. There's no value in you, because if you're refusing to get that's your own choice. If you don't want to get the vaccine or not, that's fine. But then you have repercussions to deal with, which is your employer.
Yeah, but I have rights.
Yeah, but the employer would be like, listen, I can't use you you can't work for me if you're not vaccinated. Like, you can't perform in these different arenas and states where we're going to do shows at. So that way, what's the point of keeping you around then? So I'm with you, Rich. Like,
and
I don't sympathize with it.
That's also the kind of thing that could bring back like state athletic commissions to come back in.
Oh, yeah. That would be interesting. They do that. So, but like, and that's one issue. It's like, okay, if certain wrestlers are not vaccinated, yeah, that's on you then. Like, the company can't use you to perform then. So that's why they need to let you go. It's like, why we're going to pay you and not do anything.
Yeah. In terms of people that were on the main roster, I mean, when you're looking at this isn't working, the main roster is not NXT where you can kind of toy around with it. Unfortunately, like to me, the person that's most hurt with the releases is Triple H, because he had a hand in every single person that got let go, including Nia Jax.
They were all his projects over the last few years. So
but on top of that, I would say that it's hard when you're on the main roster and you're seen every week on numerous platforms. Like, it's not like back in the day when we would tape shows if we missed or we just missed a show and then you don't see it again. It's like, you can't just change someone's character from one week to another like that. So like with Cross and Keith Lee, you built these new characters that weren't really working, but you can't just stop it mid character. So it's like, we have to take you off of TV and re-debut you in a few months. But if they're getting rid of people that they're not using right now, then they're getting rid of people that they're not going to use.
And that's what's frustrating, because now the whole vaccine situation, that's on them and whatnot. But I think the biggest issue is certain people are being let go because the powers that be felt these people weren't getting over with the WWE universe. And to me, this is a question I want to ask you, Richard. It's very much like the chicken or the egg. Like, what came first? Whose fault is that? Is it the wrestler themselves for not getting over, or is it the bad creative that was given to them that's not getting them over? And I feel
or it's both, because there's people like Dusty Rhodes that got over the polka dots.
Yeah.
So you look like Bruce Pritchard uses this analogy. Look at Dusty Rhodes and look at the Red Rooster.
Yeah.
They both had equally silly type gimmicks. Who got it over?
Both of them, or Dusty.
Dusty.
Yeah.
And it's because Dusty had fun with it and played with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's like I say, it's just for me, it's frustrating because I love Keith Lee.
I just want to say, I get it that people are going to disagree with what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But I don't care. And look, they're probably right as well. But like, personally, I don't take it as something to get angry about on my end. I didn't get let go. Yeah. And like, to me, it's just like, it's not like they're gone forever. They're going to show up other places. So like,
as we talked off the air, you mentioned Drew McIntyre is a good example.
Yeah. But there's more places than when Drew got let go that you can go and make a living now.
Yeah.
Like New Japan's making their way here now. MLW is doing great stuff. There's AEW, there's NWA, Ring of Honor's no more, but like Impact, I forget about them, like everyone else does. But no, I'm saying, like, Richard, you brought up a good point. It's just like with the creative, though, it's like, I know it's a case by case situation, but like I feel like sometimes people who came up with some of these creative ideas, they always blame it on the wrestler for not getting it over. And it's like, well, you came up with such a bad idea. You should have came up with something better or work with them. And it's like they keep passing the blame on someone else instead of looking at themselves and like, okay, what are we doing wrong here? I think when you hear both sides of the story, the truth is in the middle. Somewhere.
Yeah, totally.
So you kind of have to take both.
Yeah.
So, it's that, what if we try it like this?
Yeah. Well, for me, what I'm bummed is because what I was excited for Keith Lee and Karrion Kross on Raw and on the main roster is just more or less fresh matchups. Because if you look at Raw or SmackDown with the draft, it's more or less the same people we've been seeing for years. They just change up some people over here to this side. But it's a lot of rematches. Or like, tonight on Raw, it's supposed to be Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. But we saw them at WrestleMania last year. Like we've seen them work together.
But I mean, when you look at the names, though, I mean, what's her Brianna Brandy or whatever her name is, BFAB, sure. She had one of the worst matches I've seen in years. So I can tell you, the last match I saw that bad was Ho Ho Lun in the Cruiserweight Classic. That's the last time he's from China. He's terrible.
Okay.
That was one of the worst matches I've seen in years. So it confused me why she was getting moved up. And it makes sense that they let her go. But there's that other girl that was with, the last time anyone really saw her she was with Sin Cara before he quit. The Lucha girl.
Oh,
Elektra Lopez.
Was she?
No, she's still there. I thought she was the one that got fired.
No, a quartet. It was a quartet.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Never mind.
No, so but like I said, for me, because like I thought, okay, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, those two guys, they can do their thing in the mid-card level and work their way up to hopefully be main eventers within a year or so. And it gives fresh matchups in the main event title scene. That's what I was looking for, just because I'm burnt out on some of these guys. I've seen them for so long. And I think with Keith more than Kross, because like with Kross, I feel like everyone kind of came up with the same, like, it'll be fine once Scarlett's there. But with Keith, it felt like the company lost faith in him after his health scare. Because like, look, and you kind of can't blame them for that, because like no one expected him to disappear like he did for months like that. You can't plan for something like that, but you're also planning that the person that you've hired is going to be healthy. And
if you have big plans for someone and you really can't depend on them, then what do you have?
Yeah.
I mean, it's with WWE, it's not any other promotion. They are more than a step above every other promotion.
Yeah.
If you're number 2, you're still pretty far behind number 1.
Yeah. I think for me, I was just excited. Like, okay, with Karrion Kross, amazing entrance that they had at NXT. I was like, I could not wait to see that on Raw or SmackDown, and Scarlett doing her thing in the ring. And then I was like, already thinking, imagine that at a WrestleMania size stage. And we never got that. And that's what's frustrating. They stripped him of all that. What made him cool, he has an amazing look. He fits the role what Vince McMahon wants, like in a prototype WWE superstar.
I don't know if he does anymore. I think Vince in the past has liked that look and style, but like I don't know, like from who Vince pushes now, it's hard to say that really anymore.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I was hoping Karrion Kross can do that on the big stage, and he would get over so much.
Yeah.
Like I felt like that was easy money right there, but they never let him try that and then see if it worked or not. Instead, they just did something completely different with him. No Scarlett, and then people wonder why it didn't work. I mean, it's the biggest head scratcher. It's the biggest what if that I could think of in the last few years in pro wrestling.
The good thing is he's young. He's still very, very young. So it's not like, with someone like him, you could say, they just want him to polish a little bit more, and they don't want to pay for it. But.
And that's what you said off the air. It's like, I think a lot of people who release doesn't mean that they're never welcome back. I mean, there is a possibility they could come back at some point. Like I said, Drew McIntyre, great example. He kind of refound himself in the 3 years he was away from WWE.
Let's also keep in mind, this is a company that brought back 2 women in their 70s to wrestle. So there's more than enough time as long as you can still go. So look. To me, it's like I can say pretty confidently, as long as he stays healthy to a degree, I think they're going to bring back Bray Wyatt. I think they're going to bring back Braun Strowman, like someone like those guys that are WWE guys, no matter where they go. I don't think there's enough bad blood there that they're unhappy right now, but it means to me that when they come back, they're going to get paid more and they're going to get pushed better.
It's I mean, the indie scene and other promotions are going to benefit with all these releases. And I mean, Killer Kross will probably make a return to some extent, and hopefully, he'll do his thing on the indie scene, or someone else will pick him up quick. And I'm just, like I said, it's a lot to process, and it's
going to work out in the end.
Yeah, I hope so. So,
well, and what's interesting too is you see who they took on their European tour that is not main roster people. Did you see who they took over to the UK?
Tommy, it was Braun Breaker, Ciampa,
yeah,
and Walter,
because Walter and Cesaro
had a match. I saw a clip of it.
Yeah, so like I said, I want to be. It's just when stuff like this happens, it's tough to be a WWE fan because then all the haters will use this as an excuse to pile on, and it's like, listen. I don't run the company. It's a business. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation now. And there's a lot, and maybe because with my job, I do work in a corporate world. So I've seen stuff like this from my industry and other industries from afar. So like, I'm not shocked by this. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all about money and making a certain amount.
There's a bigger plan than we're seeing is what I think.
Yeah. So I wish all these people the best. I'm sorry for them that they're going through this, and I wish them all the best. And hopefully maybe some can come back, or some will excel elsewhere. And as wrestling fans, we'll just benefit from watching all this. And it's still a good time to be a wrestling fan in general. Tom, was there anything else for you that stood out for all these releases for you?
No, I just feel like it's just like any other sport. In football, they get cut.
Thank you. Exactly.
And it's like in baseball.
What team is going to pick up that player?
Yeah. And it's like in baseball, they get designated for assignment. Eventually, someone will pick them up off waivers,
But I think that's what you just said is somewhat brilliant, Tommy, because I think seriously, I think there's a fair amount of wrestling fans that don't watch sports. I don't watch other sports.
Yeah.
Seriously. But so, like, I don't think that they're aware, like, other sports have cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it is because someone's contract is too big and they're not delivering as much as the contract is paying for.
Yeah. So it's like I said, I hope these guys wish them the best. And, you know, I can't wait for some of these people to do probably shoot interviews and kind of maybe open up what they were going through at the time. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with them. I like I said, I just feel bad, and it just makes it tough as a fan. So we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, this is something we can go on and on talking about, but, you know, I know everyone's been talking about it a lot. So, but let's move on to some more exciting news.
I have a piece of exciting news that you don't have written down.
What's that?
Chelsea Green is in talks with Playboy. Continue.
What?
I thought Playboy was dead.
No. Come on, Tommy.
Like
I know, of all
they don't publish the magazine anymore.
It's digital.
It's digital now. Okay.
Hold on.
I mean, so I've heard.
Wait.
Wow. Well,
hold on. Let's see.
Well, this is good radio right here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, okay. There's an article. Chelsea Green says she's in talks with Playboy for digital-based non-photo shoot content.
Interesting.
All right. I'll have to read up more up in this later. Woo, woo, woo. So, okay. I want to talk about, so over the weekend, it was announced that, hey, Survivor Series is coming up here pretty quick next weekend.
Is it next weekend?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The weekend after.
Okay. Okay.
Got me all excited.
Less than 2 weeks. And they just went ahead and posted on social media, WWE social media accounts, who are going to be the matchups for Survivor Series this year as far as the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series matches. And I figured let's go over and just recap them real quick, give them our thoughts. So, okay. First up that they post for the Raw Men's Survivor Series team. They got Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio.
I like that. I like that team.
Versus Team SmackDown for their men's Survivor Series team is going to be Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Woods, Sami Zayn, and Happy Corbin.
I'm going with SmackDown. What say you?
Mad Cat, is it?
I guess they have him in the photo, but he'll probably be out there for support with his buddy,
What
telling
say
some
you?
jokes.
Who you got? Early prediction.
I think SmackDown will probably win.
I could see Drew McIntyre getting the win for them because he's on a roll right now as far as they're rebuilding him as his dominant force.
So is Seth.
Yeah.
Seth, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
I mean, when you look at those teams, I mean,
I think here, because you look at the storyline on Raw, you know, last week it was
I can see people
Ray
walking
versus.
out. I can see people walking out on Seth.
That's probably what's going to happen.
Because did he sacrifice himself last year? Remember, he just laid there. He's like, hit me. Whatever.
Yeah.
And they all like kicked him. He's like, I'm sacrificing myself for the greater good.
Was that the one with? No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking 2 years ago
Yeah.
with Walter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. NXT won 2 years ago.
See, it's weird that whole pandemic era. Like, to me, it's all jumbled in my head.
Thunderdome era. Yeah.
The Thunderdome era is all jumbled in my head.
Well, here's the thing. On Raw, keep in mind, remember Ray took on Austin Theory last week. Dominic slapped Austin. The ref saw it and DQ'd Ray in the process. So there's still tension between father and son. So I wonder if Dominic will cost them this match somehow.
He's in the match, though.
But yeah, like he will, you know, lose, or there'll be like an argument between father and son or something. So
he's going to goof up.
He should listen to his father. That's all I'm going to say.
I think
respect your elders.
Because usually what they do is like either SmackDown wins one and Raw wins the other one, like men versus women. So, I mean, I think Raw has the stronger team as far as like main eventers.
Well, and they have an actual tag team in the match.
Yeah.
So,
but I could see then Survivor Series, SmackDown in that case be viewed more as underdogs, and then therefore use that to advantage for like to put someone over big. And I can see Drew McIntyre maybe be the one to get the win.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. All right. So for the Raw Women's 5-on-5 Survivor Series team, got Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Selena Vega.
Say that team one more time.
So Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Selena Vega. Queen Vega. Queen Selena, I should say. Okay, then for Team SmackDown, Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi Blackheart, Natty, and Aaliyah.
That is hard to call.
I'm going with Raw for Bianca Belair.
True.
But here's what
Say SmackDown one more time. It's Sasha Banks, Shotzi,
Shayna,
Natalie, Shayna,
and Aaliyah.
Damn, that is even. Because that is so even.
It's 50-50.
So this is what I'm upset, though, is, okay, you got Rhea Ripley, one half of the women's tag team. Shouldn't her partner be in this? Shouldn't Nikki ASH be in there? I think she should be in there. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but if you have her in there, then it's, who do you take out?
Carmella.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because we saw Liv Morgan, she confronted or stepped up to Becky Lynch on Raw last week.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to, and this is not, when you look at star power, is Carmella going to do more for the average fan than Nikki is? Seriously.
For Corey Graves.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's a smart, look, it's star power. It comes down to that. More than making us nerds happy.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, and for SmackDown, what I'm frustrated is...
Hold on. We have not talked about enough the mask.
For Carmella?
I love it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's a great gimmick, right?
It's so creepy looking.
It looks like a skin, like a leather face.
It's bondage looking.
There's a really creepy horror movie called Mother that it's about like these two boys and their mother's wearing this mask, but they don't really know if it's their actual mother.
Oh, wow.
She's had this face surgery, so they're she acts erratic and they can't tell if it's their own mother, so there's it's really dark.
Oh my god. Okay.
How long ago this movie came out?
A few years ago.
Okay.
For Team SmackDown, what I'm a little frustrated is, no offense to Aaliyah, I know she kind of made her TV debut this past Friday with the segment with Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn, but
that's what got her on the team.
But I'm like, what about Toni Storm, man? What about Toni Storm? I would put Toni Storm in there,
or Tegan Knox.
Is she Raw? Is she Team Raw though?
She could have been on that team.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I was just a little bummed about. Was like, I mean, I like how balance is because you got Natty, like the veteran, Sasha, who's like the legit star, big star, Shayna,
and a legit boss.
Yeah, legit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shayna Baszler, who's been like reintroduced as like, this monster machine that just tears people apart. Shotzi's got like a new edge to her right now.
Love it.
So I don't know. I'm seeing Team Raw because I want to see Bianca Belair get the win just for her to keep still being strong right now. So that's what I'm leaning towards.
Let me look at this. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. So I think, let's see. That's all they have announced so far. Let me see what else is here. Okay, so this is...
I'm going to go with Raw, too.
Okay. And then we can assume they'll probably have, all the belts being defended against each other, like tag titles, Raw versus SmackDown, Intercontinental versus US. That's probably what's going to happen. And then, will they have Big E as WWE champion take on Roman Reigns, Universal champion? So that's yet to be seen. I'm guessing this week.
Who's the US champion? Right? Oh,
Damian Priest.
Who's the IC champ?
Shinsuke.
Damian Priest against Nakamura's gone into like the last 3 or 4 Survivor Series as a champion.
Was he? Yeah, I was thinking about
Seth Rollins. He wrestled Seth Rollins. I'm pretty sure he was last year the champion.
I gotta look that up. But and then so it should be still a fun show. I mean, I wonder.
It always is.
Yeah. I mean, I just wish there were stakes. And
I don't care about the stakes as much as I wish you would appoint someone who could make their own team and have it be like a team of heels against a team of baby faces.
Yeah, and they have names for themselves, and maybe they all dress up like Survivor Series in the 80s and 90s, where they all come up with team names and dress up like each other with face paint.
That dynamic is interesting. Even if you could tease it, where on Raw you've got the option of let's say Seth Rollins, okay, and he's got his own team picked out, and he has to go one-on-one with Finn Balor, who's got his whole team picked out, and then you do the same thing with SmackDown. And whoever's team wins a match before Survivor Series, that's going to be the team that goes against the SmackDown team.
Oh, to represent the brand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you've got now 4 potential teams, and they have to compete. So you get this weird mix and match.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people were kind of complaining. It's like, wait, you just announced this on social media without maybe doing qualifying matches or something. And part of me is like, well,
I saw that. Ricochet complaining about that.
Well, it's like they just had.
He's getting booed every time he comes up the curtain.
Well, my thing is because they just had King of the Ring, so like they already had like a set of matches, a tournament style. Like,
yeah, but it's a 1 week thing. They could do it.
So I don't know. I kind of wish, maybe there's a little more like qualifying matches to get the team. Or I like your idea is like people all fighting. You have teams fighting to be the main team to move on.
You could do, and it builds your whole just a month of booking. So you start, 2 months maybe even of booking. But like you could have each person that's coming out and saying, "I want to captain a team at Survivor Series," and then Adam Pearce tells them, "You've got 3 weeks to find a team." And the Monday that leads up to Survivor Series, you're going to have a match, and whoever wins that match, their team will be represented for that brand at Survivor Series. And they'll take on the SmackDown side, whoever wins that Friday, because that also gives you an interesting storyline going into Survivor Series that SmackDown had less time to prepare for Raw.
I just wish could be a way where
Raw had less. Either way,
maybe and the stipulation is the winning team, the surviving members get the last amount of spots in the Royal Rumble or something. You know what I mean? I think we talked about that even last year.
No, they did that with Mixed Match Challenge. That's what they did it with.
Yeah. So, and wasn't there stipulations back in the day? Wasn't 04 or I gotta look it up. Sorry, my knowledge of Survivor Series. I mean, I can maybe save that for next episode. But where stipulations were somehow involved, I have to look up on the history of Survivor Series.
You didn't mention that Survivor Series is presented by Red Notice on Netflix.
The Rock's movie with Ryan Reynolds, right?
No one can see me smiling, so I'll stop smiling.
Listen, Survivor Series. I know it's probably out of the big 4. It's probably the least. I don't know what's the term. Yeah, I still enjoy. I still have fun with it. It's it's their all-star show, more or less. Any sports, for anyone who watches sports out there, the all-star games for each respected league, it's always a fun thing to watch still. So I'll be excited for it. So maybe next episode we could talk about our favorite Survivor Series teams from back in the day.
Ooh.
Because Richard, weren't you and I doing that on the ride to Chase Center?
We were.
So,
we were talking about all the terrible names that they've done.
Okay,
Roddy's Rowdies.
Tommy, what was Hogan's team? They have a team with
Hulkamaniacs, wasn't it?
Hulkamaniacs. Yeah, because he was on the first Survivor Series, right?
Yeah, the first Survivor Series.
With Paul, was it Paul Orndorff?
It was Paul Orndorff, Bam Bam Bigelow, Ken Patera,
and Hogan.
Don Morocco.
And Bam Bam was the sole survivor, wasn't he?
And
we'll look that up. We should do that next episode.
But Don Morocco filled in for, I think it was Superstar. Billy Graham.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have to look that up. So
there is a poster out there with Billy Graham on it, by the way, you can find.
Ooh, that's probably good.
I'm looking at it right now.
Rare item. So anyway, I look forward to Survivor Series. So that's going to be happening in 2 weeks' time. So looking forward to it. It's good. It's a good way to get the start of the Thanksgiving week.
Who do you have for Biggie and Roman?
I could see Brock Lesnar interfering somehow.
That's true.
Or
I mean, but okay. If Brock comes out, Brock's also got to take out the New Day and the Usos.
Or maybe they do Bloodline versus New Day.
Ooh.
And we'll get into SmackDown because that's I think what's going on there. Just do there. So anyway, okay. Let's just show.
And if they did that, they'd have to take Woods out of the Survivor Series match, which would be interesting.
Oh, that's right.
But they could do that. They could do that.
He just does double duty.
No, they'd take Woods out, put someone else in his place.
Ricochet.
Oh
no, I'm just kidding. Okay. Neil. Okay, anyway, so we'll get into that. All right, let's just touch on Monday Night Raw last week. It was a fun episode as far as, it was just match after match after match. A lot of stuff happened there. Opening match, they started with the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Stellar match. I mean, these two, I think, have great chemistry together.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. We saw Becky, she's a heel, so she used the rope to hold down Bianca Belair in the roll up there, retain her title. So
she also smashed her into the exposed turnbuckle.
That's right. Yes,
which I thought was extremely well done, because I'm watching it and just like, boom, pin, 1, 2, 3, and it's like, that was so fast, but like so logical the way it happened.
And it was smooth how, but was it Bianca was falling or Becky was falling back and just yanked it out with her.
What was funny was I'm watching it. I swear to God, I have this thought in my head. Why does Becky keep going for the disarmer on her? Like it's not working. And then like she gets her up and pushes her in. And it's just like, oh, so well done. So well done.
And I love how Bianca counters the disarmer because technically Becky like on her shoulder pulling up her arm. Bianca used her strength to stand up and carry her up. So it's really cool to me, like seeing how that plays out. So it's, Bianca, God, every time I watch her, it always impresses me with her different feats of strength in the ring. So, but, Becky has a victory, retains the championship. Later on in the show, Becky does an interview and she pretty much says she wants a new challenger. We see Liv Morgan step up to her. So,
she's not ready.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
She's not ready to beat her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But it's kind of interesting because remember Liv Morgan? They were kind of stop and go with her for the last few months because remember the whole like qualifying for the Money in the Bank briefcase match, and she had like fight her way in, and then she got yanked out, and I think a lot of people thought she was going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. She didn't, and
no. Everyone wanted her to win the Money in the Brief match.
Yeah.
But it's like the internet just decided that they wanted that, and when it didn't happen, they got butthurt. And it's like, oh my God.
So that's the thing. It's like, so Liv Morgan, people for a while have been wanting to see get pushed. So
yeah, but they're making you care for when they give you it. You're actually going to be happy with it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So I'm just kind of surprised. Like, all right, here we go. Finally, Liv Morgan looks like she's going to get a title shot or an opportunity for the title picture. So I'm kind of interested if that separates her, because I'm so tired of her and Carmella, all those rematches they've been having. Her and Carmella over and over.
I could watch them tussle for hours.
But it's like from SmackDown to Raw, it carries over. So it's
someone likes to watch them tussle.
I just want them to move on. Come on, people. So for Liv Morgan, it's great. I think it's a good, solid opponent for Becky Lynch to take on. Obviously, Becky's still going to win. I just worry, though, where does Bianca go from here? Is this the end of them for a while? I just feel, would they re-explore this down the road at some point? So with Bianca,
I think WWE knows what they have with Bianca, and I think that they've used Bianca since they've been pushing her. I think there's still a lot in the gas tank with her, but she's still really young, and they're going to take advantage of that the best they can. I just
hope they just don't have her go too cold as far as losing at SummerSlam and what's the payoff from that. Because everyone's upset that she lost in 26 seconds, that they keep repeating over and over and over. So it's like
they're reminding us more than the fans are at this point.
Yeah. So I just want to know, like, what's the payoff? Does Bianca get her revenge and gets the title? So
I think you need a wedge right now that Bianca doesn't have, because right now Bianca's problem is that she's at that more elite level, and I think you need someone to step in the way, like a Asuka or a Rhea Ripley, that's saying, hey, you've got your shots. It's my turn with Becky. So they don't have that right now because Rhea's in a tag team. But
Let me ask you this, and this is something I kind of watched, like these promos they've been doing back and forth. Everyone thinks Becky is kind of like this generation's Austin, or at least from a women's division, she's Austin, at least her presentation and whatnot.
How about she's this generation's Becky Lynch?
Absolutely. I totally think that's a better way to describe her. But nonetheless, Austin had The Rock. Who is Becky's like equivalent or equal opponent? Is it Charlotte? Is it Sasha? Is it Bayley? I don't think.
See, I think or is it
Bianca?
For me, it could be Bianca. But to me, WWE will spin things sometimes where they'll say The Rock's greatest opponent is Stone Cold. Bullshit. The Rock's greatest opponent is Triple H. For years it's Triple H and him.
They had a face off on SNL.
Yeah, 98 to whenever The Rock stopped. So,
was it 05 full time? I think it was. Yeah.
04.
04? Yeah.
Like, to me, Charlotte's opponent is Sasha. Like, how many first-time women's matches did those two have together? And
2016. Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, and main evented events. So it's just kind of
what I'm getting at is
maybe Becky is reminded of Austin in that respect, where like I don't pin Austin down to one guy. Like maybe that more so like that, but like attitude, like no one's close to Austin. That's ridiculous. Yeah. There's not you can't make those comparisons.
No, because what I'm getting at is I really like Bianca and Becky's dynamic in the ring together, promos, match wise. And I think a lot of people want the four horsewomen to all be together. It's like they're equally best opponents and whatnot. But I really respect where Bianca.
If you have the four of them together, then you need four people of equal value. Otherwise, there's no equity in having the four horsewomen together because who can beat them?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is I really respect how Bianca, an outsider of that, come in and in many ways, overcome those odds. And so I really like where Becky and Bianca are like. I was like, I really like this. I could see them. I could see them.
It's
future
too early. It's
WrestleManias and stuff. Yeah,
it's too early to say they're their greatest opponents, but with Becky, I feel like Becky came back better than when she left, like by a lot. Like her in-ring skill, she stepped her game up a couple of notches, real heavy.
Yeah,
but like when it comes to those comparisons, like Charlotte makes you think of who?
Ric Flair.
Rick.
Yeah.
But Charlotte's a better athlete than Ric Flair ever was. Seriously. Yeah. Like Ric Flair, endurance-wise, he's the man. He's the greatest wrestler of all time. And Charlotte's not the greatest wrestler of all time. She might be the greatest women's wrestler of all time, but Ric Flair's the GOAT.
Yeah. So, I know, it's just something to think about. So, anyway, it'd be interesting to see where Bianca goes from here in the time being to keep her busy. Looks like her and Becky might be taking a little bit of a break from each other, and Liv Morgan's going to fill that gap right now. So we'll see. Just two other things I want to refer to from Raw. Damian Priest versus T-Bar. No DQ match for the U.S. title. Dude, that hard hitting. I mean, with T-Bar with that kendo stick, Damian Priest, was locked up in the ropes, and he was swinging at him.
Oh, my God. You can see the welts, like, appearing. Like, I want to say T-Bar is proving himself the last couple weeks.
I mean, who would have thought that Dijakovic or T-Bar is still with the company over Keith Lee? That's kind of shocking to me.
Yeah. Age and health.
But what
Keith Lee's in his 40s.
Is he?
No, he's 37.
37, okay.
He's still older.
But T-Bar, he was swinging that kendo stick, and when I got worried, it started breaking, but the part that was still in his hand, it was like the sharp point. So I was worried he was going to swing and it's actually going to graze.
That's what I wanted.
Damian Priest's body and scratch him.
Spill those guts.
I was worried about that.
Smell them. Come on, Tommy.
About you. What'd you think of that? The match
Spill
there?
those guts.
It was hard hitting.
But I liked it. So Damian Priest freed himself, and you could tell this new kind of gimmick for Damian Priest, as you mentioned last week, Richard, like Heaven and Hell, Damian Priest. He's like this Jekyll of Mr. Hyde kind of mindset, I guess you could say, presentation. So when he gets like a beating, he snaps out of it and goes into like crazy mode. So
like
after
Shamrock.
Yes, after taking all those kendo shots, he frees himself, grabs the chair, and goes after T-Bar. But I love the table spot at the end, like the way Damian Priest threw down T-Bar through that table, and the way that table perfectly exploded.
Yeah,
visually looked great.
Yeah,
it looked awesome. Kidding. Brought him back in, and he hit his finisher on him, and Damian Priest retains his title. But I guess that's kind of his new thing now. It's like, he's Mr. Nice Guy, but if you beat the crap out of him, he'll snap out of it and go crazy on you. So I'm happy for T-Bar. He got some TV time. But then we see Apollo Crews comes out and challenges Damian Priest. So he is a former U.S. champion. So, all right, Damian Priest, Apollo Crews, I can dig that. I think that should be a lot of fun. Yeah.
With General Aziz with him?
Commander Aziz.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, exactly. And the last thing was the main event. It was Kevin Owens versus Biggie. It all started earlier in the night when Seth Rollins comes out and he's trying to more or less say he's the face of Monday Night Raw. Then, Big E comes out and is like, I'm the face of Raw. And then Kevin Owens, all back and forth. It's this big, question. Who's the face of Monday Night Raw? Kevin Owens has said, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, someone you know very well. I think she could be the face of Monday Night Raw. So it's just kind of that whole turns into a whole debate of like who's the face of Monday Night Raw. So just to get under Seth Rollins' skin. But the main event itself, Big E versus Kevin Owens. Tommy, I know you were really praising that match.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. I mean, I enjoyed it was just they worked really well together.
Yeah, absolutely. And was that really their first time against each other?
One-on-one. First time one-on-one.
Okay.
Remember Kevin Owens joined the New Day at one point.
And Big E was out injured, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for the time being.
So he was going to fill the role as the big guy.
And so Big E gets the win over Kevin Owens at the cost of Seth Rollins was out at the commentary table. He's walking by, hits Big E. Kevin Owens sees it, and he's like, what the hell, Seth? Like, don't interfere in my match. But he still ran over, rolled him up.
I like that.
And then Big E, kicked out and rolled him over.
Yeah.
It's those little tiny things of them planting the seeds.
Exactly.
That's them planting the seeds for the heel turn.
For Kevin Owens.
Because then Kevin gives him an apology, and Big E's a jerk and doesn't accept it.
So that's the thing. It was interesting because Big E still wins, and then he's looking at Kevin Owens. He's like, what's up, man? Are you guys working together? Seth hits me. Are you guys working together? So Big E, being paranoid or whatever, is like, I don't trust you guys. And Kevin Owens is like, no. Hey, man, no. Seth Rollins, he's just interfering in my match. And that's not cool. And he's trying to be a victim here as well. But I like how Big E's like, I don't trust Seth. I don't trust you.
Good.
And he still attacks Kevin Owens and lays him out with a big ending. But Richard, you brought up a good point. I like that little form of long form storytelling because Big E should not trust Kevin Owens because he did he's
dastardly at times. Dastardly.
He did New Day wrong a few years ago when, as you said, he filled in for Big E in the New Day and he still turned on Kofi and Xavier. So he should not trust Kevin Owens. So I like that, the continuity there.
Can I just say Seth Rollins is like my guilty pleasure wrestler now on Raw. All right, and the WWE.
That suit he had on, was that like...
I need his tailor.
Yeah.
What is that material?
Corduroy?
Was it?
Corduroy?
Corduroy,
I said chrome.
Oh, chrome. But it was like corduroy. It was like amazing.
Corduroy.
So anyway, jumping to Raw this week, it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, which... they did have a feud a while back, but anyway, it'll be interesting how this plays out. It's, it's all setting up opponents for, I think, Big E down the road. So, but I definitely enjoyed that main event. So, all right, let's move on over to Friday Night SmackDown. I'm trying to think how I want to phrase this. I'm again
lack of star power. They need main eventers in the main event.
Okay, so we saw King Woods and Kofi, Sir Kofi, confront the Usos, going back and forth, and pretty much led to a match where the loser has to kneel to the other person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, really? Like,
can I be honest with you? I kind of fast forward most of this stuff on Raw.
I did too.
SmackDown.
I did too this week because a lot of it I saw online. I'm just like, when I was watching the show, I was just kind of like, God, the stuff they showed online really was the only good part of it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I will say, from SmackDown, the Lotharios tag team match against Cesaro and
Mansoor.
Love that. That repackaging of the Lotharios is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's for Humberto, it's good because he needed a little more of an edge.
Well, and Angel was getting a good push a while ago, and they kind of eased up. But like, I kind of think with that, I feel like SmackDown does better with foreigners than domestics.
Okay,
in terms of talent. I'll credit Bruce Pritchard to that because Bruce has booked luchadors in Houston.
Okay,
so,
that's true. Yeah.
Well, so for me, yeah, the Lotharios, I'm kind of excited because, like, okay, give them a name, let them run with this, and for Humberto, because he was just a smiling baby face, he didn't have much personality. Now, by being with his cousin Angel, and they kind of act more heelish, it gives Humberto a little more of an edge, and maybe gives him more personality. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, I was a little bummed Cesaro was just, in this tag team match. I feel like Cesaro could be doing better, but I guess that's his job right now. It's just kind of being an opponent to put over this new tag team right now. So I do feel a little bummed out for Cesaro here. But the main event here, it was just kind of a corny stipulation.
Yeah.
Loser has to kneel to the other person.
It's not. It would be fine if it was in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Or led into the second hour of the show. But like for the main event, it's kind of, it's like the Bret Hart, Jerry Lawler, Kiss My Foot match. That wasn't the main event.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here.
Yeah.
Well, no. So what I'm getting at, so they have the match. It was a fine match. King Woods defeated Jimmy Uso. And as Jimmy.
I really like how King Xavier does the Alabama Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he.
No, he does the leg drop.
Leg drop.
The top rope. Yeah. Like Bobby Eaton.
Yeah. Well, no, so what I want to ask you guys is, as Jimmy's trying to attempt to like maybe kneel, Roman comes in, punches the New Day, and beats the crap out of him. He's like, "Nuh-uh, my cousin's not kneeling." That's fine as far as getting out of this segment. I don't know about you guys. I'm getting a little tired of the Bloodline storyline as far as Roman constantly questioning his cousins.
Yeah.
Because, early in the night, he told his cousins, you got yourself in this mess, get yourself out of it. Or he's always like questioning their loyalty to him. And I'm like, dude, they're your cousins. They stand by you. It's like, why? Like, I feel like unless Roman has an opponent.
He's paranoid.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But it's like,
He's
unless
doing mental gymnastics with them, I think.
But it's like, unless Roman has an opponent, like he had Brock, they always fall back on, okay, until the next opponent steps up. In the meantime, he's just going to question his cousin's loyalty.
Well,
and it gets boring after. To me, it's like it's almost like worse than seeing rematch over rematch. Like just repeating this storyline. It's like, I think they proved their value to you. Just roll with it. I don't think
they have someone after Brock at the moment. I think they're in a little bit of a bind with Roman. So unless, some of those people that we had mentioned, someone's got to beat the Rock, Roman eventually, and it's probably going to be. It's not going to be the Rock, but who's going to beat Roman? Who's going to beat this Roman? I mean, I
want to beat Drew.
Drew, exactly. So I think what you're seeing is he hounds his nephews enough over and over and over for weeks and months and months. And eventually it gets to the point where they come out and they just decide it's not worth it. And they turn their backs on Roman.
I guess that'll be the next part of the storyline maybe at some point where it's like, we're tired of your head games and your, mental
gymnastics.
Your abuse like that. And it's like, you're bullying, like, we're going to leave you. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I feel like when Roman doesn't have an opponent to deal with, they fall back on that storyline crutch of like, okay, he needs to question his cousin's loyalty to him. And I'm like, I've seen that before. It's like, do something else. Give a new opponent or something. So that's why I'm just kind of... Listen, I know the Bloodline is the top faction storyline going in WWE right now, but it's like, okay, it's obviously your wheels are... The hamster wheel's just spinning right now. They're probably trying to figure out what... They're stalling for time until they figure out something else for Roman. So...
Well, stalling for time till after Survivor Series because they already have plans for Survivor Series. You need to get past that, and then hopefully we see Drew there.
Yeah. So other than that, Drew McIntyre defeat Ricochet, pretty good match there. Just Drew McIntyre's doing the open challenge thing still, so I guess that's just good.
Busy
to keep
work.
him busy. Yeah, just keeping him busy out there. All right, let's move on over to NXT 2.0.
Oh, do we have to?
We don't have to spend too much time on it. I mean, the main thing, it looks like Io Shirai is now going to be Mandy Rose's next opponent.
Oh, I love that. Let's talk about Mandy Rose, shall we?
Yes.
What an entrance she made.
Absolutely. But Zoe Stark, she was taken out by Toxic Attraction at back, and now it was reported she legit does have an injury, so she's going to be out for a while.
Toxic Attraction took her out with a knee injury.
Exactly.
Come on.
Make it kayfabe, man.
So Io Shirai, confronted Mandy Rose. Yeah.
Hold on. They've done it here and there a few times, and even if he doesn't beat him, it's still someone to fill some time with. But they could try Nakamura and Roman.
Oh, going back to SmackDown.
For a show, like they did with Cesaro. Right. I'm sorry. I was just trying to rack my brain of who's actually a main event player right
Caliber.
now.
Nakamura.
Caliber.
Babyface.
Good enough. Yeah.
Andy, babyface.
Yeah.
And he's super over with the crowd again.
But you think about it, though, that's kind of the problem with SmackDown with this draft. They're all the, I think, big opponents for Roman all went to Raw. Yeah. So that's the one area I think is a little thin for SmackDown right now as far as the roster goes. But yeah, Io Shirai, I'm all for it. I mean, Io Shirai back in the title hunt right now and going against Mandy Rose. But, I mean, I think whatever match they have coming up, I'm sure Toxic Attraction is going to help Mandy win because she just won the title. So she's probably going to have it for a bit. And this is good for Mandy Rose. It's a good dance partner to have. And it can really help Mandy Rose, take her game to the next level by being in the ring with such a talent that is Io Shirai. I don't know. Is there anything else from that opening segment, Richard, that stood out for you? It's like, okay, I've got Io back.
I thought that they gave Mandy Rose quite a lot of time walking to the ring, and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Absolutely, you did.
Of course you did.
She's a stunning woman.
I'll ask you this. So Dakota Kai take on Cora Jade. Pretty dominating fashion, and then she was going to jump on the table that was on top of Cora Jade, but instead she just dragged her to the back. So
I liked it. I thought for a veteran against a rookie like that, good match.
Absolutely.
I wonder, is Dakota Kai going to try to recruit Cora Jade to the dark side that she's on right now, this dark side path?
She's going to show up next week with pink hair.
Maybe it's a pink hair club. Yeah. And then Braun Breaker, after his loss against Ciampa at Halloween Havoc, bounced back. He bounced back with
Andre Chase.
Yeah,
just
pretty
a squash match.
Who?
The university guy. The student, the college. No, he's a professor.
The professor.
The guy who looks like a Confederate soldier?
Yes, he does.
So
he does.
For Braun Breaker.
It's all about Braun Breaker.
Yeah, no, it was good for him just to get a big win, another win under his belt. So restart his momentum.
He's the reason why I watch NXT 2.0.
Yeah,
it's all about Braun Breaker.
It's all about the Diamond Mine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Diamond Mine too, yes. Yeah.
And then
Toxic Attraction.
Toxic Attraction. The main event, we saw Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams take on Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams won. A little cheating, though, right? Didn't they use a shoe?
Yeah.
On
a penny loafer.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Let's see what
it's a good shoe. You shouldn't hit people with a penny loafer.
It's not sturdy enough.
Yeah. It's a dress shoe. It's a nice shoe.
Yeah, the Williams distracted the ref.
Denny, no one cares about the match. Let's talk about the penny
shoe?
Yeah. I think that's what our listeners want.
Wait, whose shoe was it?
Does it matter? It was a nice shoe.
It looked like a penny loafer.
What would be the best shoe to hit someone with?
A boot.
Well,
steel toe boots.
Steel toe
A steel toe boot. Yeah.
Actually, do you
I have a pair. I wear it to work.
You do?
Yeah.
See, when I worked at FedEx years ago, they made us, get
there he is, name dropping again, Tommy. Listen to this guy.
No,
you got to get
I work for corporate places. Ooh.
the Red Wing boots.
Yeah, no, they made me wear protective boots, but because we have to go through a metal detector, they said do not get steel toe boots. You have to get the composite.
Yeah, you did.
No, I got those. It's called composite, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like a really hard plastic or equivalent to it. So I still have it. Those boots are awesome.
Yeah, you wore them for your Michael Myers costume for Halloween years back.
Yeah, those things can last forever. Those boots are badass.
Yeah, no, that's what I think. Harlan Williams or what's his name, the Harlan guy, Parker Boudreaux. I think he's wearing like those boots.
Probably just stomping people.
Yeah.
So. But no, NXT this week, or this past week, I should say, was, I guess it's like, okay, it's the, what's the term, after the fallout from Halloween Havoc. So it's like, okay, they're trying to establish some new storylines with people. So
I'm beginning to care a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, it doesn't feel, it feels like a completely new company, to be honest.
Yeah, it does.
Like it feels like I see some familiar faces there, but it's let's hope Triple H comes back soon.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
So
yeah, see how it plays out here. So, all right. On that note, let's start wrapping things up. Richard, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Pro Wrestling 101 and nowhere else. But if you don't like anything I said, and it made you angry or you think it's stupid and you want to complain and tell me your opinion, please tell me your opinion at BabyHuey83 on Instagram and Twitter. Those are my other accounts. I'll definitely read them and hear your thoughts, and I really care. So share away. Tommy, where can they find you at?
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at IronFist1982, and I just want to give a big shout out to Davey Richards, who won the Opera Cup in MLW.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Spoiler alert.
Did you see Hammerstone?
Carly Perez.
What?
Katrina?
Oh, yeah. She showed up. But you see Hammerstone's new outfit?
I like it.
Wearing trunks again.
It's a good look. It's a good look. He looks like a wrestler.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
RASSLI, and that's wrestling.
And I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram, as Richard already plugged for me, at Baby Huey83. Support in the Kliq. Subscribe to us where we get your audio podcasts at, or please subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Watch the videos, leave a comment, give us a thumbs up there. InTheKliq@gmail.com. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.